Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. On 2nd down. It's Henry, and not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Just like that. Mike's 56. Mike's 56. You better bring it. You better bring it. Let me know.
Jackson from the shotgun. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. These two teams all tied after one. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
You ain't doing nothing today. Run. Jumper. Alert 3. Bang.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Bang. Alert.
Mayfield now. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
Check it back, check it back. King.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his second touchdown of the game and fifth on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Hopping over the top. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Henry out of the pistol. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
A gain of a yard makes it 3rd and 11.
Got it. 50 minus 50. 3 bud.
On third down, Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey. You got 3. One.
Mayfield on play action. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
A 6-yard pickup brings up
56 to block, boy. 56. Check it.
On the carry, it's Samuels. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Derrick Henry. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And that is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good. Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it.
It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That puts him in excellent position, first and goal after a gain of 19. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Now, despite a little sizzle on the move, he's still tackled shy of the 20. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. Watch 36, 36 to Mike. Hey, we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Hey, Delta. 5, 36. That's what I do. Real. 36.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Let's go, you tighten up. Let's go.
Jackson now to throw on third down. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Hey, alert, 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 alert! Topper, topper! Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot! Check 48's the mic! Check 48's the mic! I'm coming after you! Pistol.
Following the interception, Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. First down, Mayfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it.
And Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
Set, 180! Whip! Alert, alert! Alert, alert!
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
First down, Cleveland.
40, 180! Hurry! King! Hey, echo! The 48 right now, let's go! Come to my world! We want it! Come to my world! Mike, 48, Mike.
Mayfield on first down. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Past the 20. 10, and he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
The Browns drive about to get started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, we're 33. 49. Hey, Alpha. 49. Man, I got you. 40.
From the gun, Mayfield. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hurry! Bravo!
49, guys. Mike, 49.
They go play action. Mayfield. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Alert! 48, hey, Steve 6. Check.
Throwing on second and long. Mayfield. He finds his target. Beckham. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Run.
On third down, Mayfield. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off at the 19. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Again, it's Henry. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jackson, and an alley to run. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Jackson on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And way down into the red zone before he's dropped inside of Cleveland's 15. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Hollywood Marquise Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. As the Ravens push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Browns drive about to get started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They run it again with Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Big time drive. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Oh, able to avoid him. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. 8 yards, 1st down as they're able to convert.
Well, when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense, they still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
Mike's 49. Mike's 49.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still, no yardage. Okay.
You ain't got nothing.
Switch.
Point it right.
49 to Mike.
Five.
Go, baby. Turn it over. Get that ball. Get that ball.
Hurry.
Mike, watch 49.
Real.
Mike's 49.
One touch.
Throwing on 2nd down. Mayfield nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Good. 180.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. To throw, Mayfield. And he's got room. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
1-yard loss on the play. It's 3rd and 11.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. This time Jackson will throw it. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Greedy Williams picks it off. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
You.
Browns, 1st down.
Hey, watch it.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through three quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. Now they'll run it on the toss. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Seibert able to knock this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Right there, 56.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one good for 26 and a first down. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
If you kill it, motion me out.
And Jackson throwing once more and caught by Henry. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Put that team on the box. Watch twist. Watch the twist.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
You got tight right there. Kill, kill, kill.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Check 50. Check 50.
Now Jackson operating from the gun. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And again, it's Chubb. And an alley to run. Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 59 yards. As they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, he shifts past him. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them.
He's got a man, complete. It's a gain of 34.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Jackson. Over the middle here to Brown. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 31-yard line. Jackson to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Browns drive about to get started. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Browns drive about to get started. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that That gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. 31 yards there and a first down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Regular. Hey, high 7.
Check 48's the mic. Check 48's the mic. He can't hang. Watch.
The first throw in overtime for Mayfield now. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Kill. Hey, turn it up.
King. Hurry. Watch.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
Partner, this is a pretty good drive they're putting together, and I know if I'm on the other sideline, that offense, kind of helpless, isn't it? Because they may not touch the football at all, because if they go down and score a touchdown, this thing's over.
Absolutely, that would write an ending to this script. We'll see what happens. And they need 5 yards on 3rd down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive.
Line 36. Let's go one more. Watch 36. 36.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. Here comes an important one now for Austin Seibert. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Now less than 2 minutes to go here in OT in a 3-point game. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Jackson from the shotgun. Flush to his right. He may try. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Max 50. Max 50.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
50's the mark. So we got man.
From the gun, Jackson flushed out right. And he is going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety, and the game is over. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one,